I'm going to give a thorough look through the Sony a6000 menu system with firmware 2.00. ISO, or ISO as some people say, can go from auto, multi-frame, noise reduction auto, get into all the way up to 25,600. If in the extended range, looks like it has a base of 12,800 here, so that's, I just shoot on auto. Metering mode has three options: multi, center, and spot. 99% of the time I'm in multi. And that's where it takes into account the entire scene of the camera to get the correct exposure. Center will look at the center of the sensor to get the exposure, and spot metering will look at one spot, one tiny spot. Now, the spot metering may be useful when the sun is behind a subject you're shooting, so you got your camera pointed at someone's face, the sun is directly behind them. You could put it on spot metering and it would expose for the face, but the downside of that is it blows out the rest of the scene. So again, it comes down to what you want to do creatively. White balance, I choose auto. If you shoot RAW, it doesn't matter what you set. It has to be handled in post-processing. If you do JPEG, this could be important. So if you're out in the daylight, shade, cloudy, incandescent, fluorescent warm, cool, day, white, daylight. I mean, you can get some neat effects with this, but as a general with them, I just leave mine in auto, and I find the camera does a good job. So dynamic range optimization and high dynamic range. So you can turn dynamic range optimization off. I leave mine set to auto. Then there's different levels. The auto works about 99% of the time. I've never had an issue. So the dynamic range optimizer is essentially HDR with one photo, and it only applies to JPEG. So this will not affect RAW photos. So I just leave it on auto, and I found that it does a good job. It tries to bring up the shadows and pull down your highlights. That's with one photo. So if something's moving, this is what you would use. I just leave an auto, and HDR is 3 photos, and it combines them in camera. Again, I would do that in post. Creative style, you have everything standard, vivid, neutral, clear, and you can see the effect that it's having as we scroll through the options. Personally, I like standard. I've never felt a need to get to a creative style. And picture effect, this is more like a filter menu. Anybody who uses Instagram would be familiar with a picture effect.